Hey everyone, SweetJohnnyCage here, back with a full playthrough of the Lies of P demo. This is available on PlayStation 5. I do want to mention that this game does have a 120 hertz or 120 FPS mode. However, my capture card does not support 120 frames per second capture, and YouTube doesn't either. So I am playing this at 60 FPS, but if your TV or your monitor or your setup supports 120 frames per second, I recommend turning that on because it is a beautiful experience in 120 hertz, and hopefully capture cards and YouTube catch up to that someday. All right, so this is the PlayStation 5 version of the demo. As you could probably tell by the length of this video, this is a long demo. I'm quite surprised at the length of this, and it really does give you time to experience this world and really take a good chunk out of what is hopefully like a 30-ish hour experience is what I've been hearing. All right, so we're going to press any button. We're going to start a new game. First, I'll show you the settings. Unfortunately, there's no Pro HUD. It's either on or off. There's no contextual only on during combat. Maybe that'll change in the full release. You can turn motion blur on and off, which is nice. I'm going to leave it on for now. Just to sort of, have the artist's intent. Guides are on. That's always very helpful. And then, just some, standard options here. So camera, I do invert. Audio balances for everything. Graphics, there is performance and quality. I am playing on performance. And then, of course, that is the high frame rate mode where the game runs or tries to run at 120. But it was pretty smooth for me on that mode. This game also does support HDR. You do get asked about that your first time through. So that is why HDR is enabled. All right, let's go ahead and start a new game. So you'll notice that the screen, the loading screen here says now lying. I thought that was very nice. So in honor of the great writer Carlo Collodi.
Can you hear me? Geppetto's puppet. We need your help.
All right, so coming out of the chair in this rail car here.
There you are.
Somebody's speaking with us.
I've been looking all over for you.
So the first thing we're going to do is pick up this lamp.
I see they got Jiminy too. But we have to hurry. My name is Sophia. Please come to Hotel Crot, and I'll explain what's happening. Jiminy, please escort him to the hotel.
So we get Monad's lamp. Do not be afraid, even if you get lost in the fog. The cricket guide will be with you. So one thing that I will tell you is the...
Get you out of there. Find something that might help.
I don't want to speak over her. The text in this game is written in an odd fashion. It's actually, I find it difficult to read sometimes.
Streets are not safe. Arm yourself with one of the weapons over there.
And what I mean by that is
It'll be helpful.
it's quite literally like the sentence structure in some of these, texts is just hard to read out loud. I constantly find myself tripping over words, so hopefully that gets a little bit of polish. So starting off in the Timothy Chalamet simulator here, we can pick a weapon. Now you will notice that the weapon is in two parts. You have a blade and a hilt, and that is very important. Eventually, in this demo, we will unlock the ability to create weapons by mixing and matching blades and hilts, or just weapon ends and their handles. So I'm going to pick the Path of the Sweeper, which is a strength build. All these are viable, and you can purchase all of these from a vendor a little later on, just in case you want to switch it up. And then, of course, they do give you the stats, so it's really like a starting class. All right, so we're going to open up the train car here. You can see that our arm starts buzzing. This is Krot Central Station on the rainy night. We get our tutorials, normal attack, special attack, and hold R2 to do a charge attack. So if you were to block at, let's call it the perfect time, you would get a parry. That's that very flashy animation there. I will tell you, as somebody who has played a lot of games in this genre, the parry window, or the perfect block window, is actually really good. All right, let's go ahead and pick this up. The maximum number of pulse cells has increased, and these are the game's flasks, if you will. So you will notice that they went onto the bar on the left, so if we press square, we would use that pulse cell to heal ourselves. But you will also notice that if you were to press down on the D-pad, you switch menus. And so if we were to press down again, we would cycle the items in this menu, and then we would press up again to get to the healing items. So effectively what that is you have an upper belt in your equipment menu and a lower belt in your equipment menu. And then if you were to hold X, you would open up your extra bag. So I like that there is more or quicker access to more items, but this does take a little while to get used to. So again, you hold X to bring up the extra bag menu. Up is the top stuff, down is the bottom stuff. And I will talk about that bottom menu in a bit because they are both extremely important. But for now, let's just continue. So we can actually get backstabs off of enemies. You'll notice that the indicator there turned, however, just wasn't quick enough. So we will get a backstab tutorial a little later on. For now, we can keep going. So we got a dim ergo fragment. These are basically like hard currency souls. You'll pick those up throughout your journey. So here we have a door. If we press the button, the puppet sort of, gets shocked back, so can't open that door just yet. Instead, we're going to continue through, and if we try to go through this door, it says you need Krot Central Station main entrance key in order to pass. So our only resort is this door right here. All right, so this guy has a shotgun, and believe it or not, you can deflect the bullets like that. They don't go back at him, unfortunately. You're not like full on reflecting the bullets back, but you can bounce them back to him, or you can deflect them. It just doesn't return to its sender. So there's really no point. Just a flashy thing you could do, I guess. All right, so let's go down here. Oop, didn't see him. So we can hold L2 to use our arm, but you'll notice that there is a meter below it on the bottom left, the left arm of steel. Every time we use it, the meter goes down. Personally speaking, I have not yet found a way to refill that meter aside from resting at bonfires. So, or not bonfires, they're basically this game's version of bonfires. So we got an item that is usable, so we can go ahead and equip it onto our belt if we'd like. So we got Thermite, which is a throwable weapon. Thermite bomb that can be thrown inflicts fire damage at the area of impact. So let's go ahead and pick that up. And then we can move on. Now, something I didn't realize until fairly late in this demo is that Lies of P has a rally mechanic similar to that of Bloodborne. What I mean by that is if you take damage during a fight, if you take damage while blocking, you can then recover that health by attacking enemies. So right here, we're going to do a rear fatal attack, and you can basically walk right up to enemies, and then the indicator starts moving. And then if you press R1 at that indicator, you get a special backstab animation. They're all quite flashy. All right, so I'll try to demonstrate the rally mechanic here. I'm just going to block this guy, and then you'll see that there is a bit of health that gets chipped away, and then I'm able to recover it by attacking. So we get a passenger's note. If anyone finds this note, get out of the station and run. And then if you press the touchpad, you get more details. Lots of lore available to you. One thing I will note is that you encounter people in this game, and it appears that subtitles are showing up on the bottom of the screen. However, they are written in an arcane language, so I'm wondering if either further on in the game or just, maybe when you beat the game, you'll be able to actually understand that language. But for now, it's all just sort of gibberish. Now, you will notice that, let's call him Pinocchio. He gets some sort of name later on. He's covered in oil. What I have noticed is that if you are outside, actually I thought it was affected by the rain because it was taking so long there, but the oil does go away, which is a little strange. I wish it just sort of stayed. I thought it only happened in the rain. Here we get another dim ergo fragment, and then we can start making our way around. You do want to be careful when moving across corners. And then this is a lock device, and the tutorial explains that. So if we unlock this, this is the door that I tried to go through before. So there are a lot of interconnected environments that use doors and ladders and all sorts of things, just like in your favorite action RPGs. All right, so this is a Fable Catalyst, and you will notice in the bottom right-hand corner, my weapon has abilities. If I were to press triangle, it uses the Blades ability. If I were to hold L1 and press triangle, I would use the Hilts abilities. So what we can do is we can go to the equipment screen, and if we were to change the item display by pressing triangle, we can analyze the blade, and at the bottom it says Fable Arts, link slash an enemy in front of you, uses an extra Fable slot to slash up to 3 more times. So if you use 2 Fable, you can just get a chain going. And then if we were to switch the item display again, we analyze the hilt or the handle. And this Fable Art is absolute defense, perfectly block the enemy's attack temporarily. So what this does is it basically makes it so you get the perfect block window, but for like an extended period of time. Okay. So this is a left-hand parts made of metal. It throws forward strong punches. Left-hand parts made with exquisite detail. They do not have special powers. Geppetto's name is faintly engraved on them. All right, so we have this big enemy here. Unfortunately, he cannot be snuck up on. But this is really your sort of perfect block tutorial. And you'll notice that I got the block because the enemy's weapon was highlighted. Ooh, died. Okay, that's okay. It is a tough game. The difficulty is up there. Just like with most things, you don't really or just like with most games in this genre, you don't really have to kill everything. But, I mean, we're here, so we may as well. So we can use the lamp to actually light our way. That actually shows up as a tutorial later on, but we can just do it now. So yeah, even though the perfect block is, really strong and does give you a decent amount of frame advantage, there's no harm in just blocking. Since we have those guys down, we can just go back through this shortcut door and then try our luck again. Don't forget to pick up your bloodstain if you died like me. So, as you saw there... Oh, come on. What's happening? I don't know what that was. As you saw there, I was able to fully stagger the enemy. And the way that happens is if you were to deflect an enemy's attack using the perfect block a certain amount of times, you will notice that their health bar starts glowing white. And so when that happens, you are able to do a charge attack. I didn't do it fast enough there. Right here, if I do a charge attack, you will fully stagger them, and then I guess it's for a backstab. Maybe a side attack? Yeah, okay. You get a side attack, and then you're able to do sort of like a visceral attack on them. Okay, so that enemy dropped a key, which we can then use to open the next door. It's the door that we were told we needed a key to. So the sawtoothed wheel are actually throwing weapons, or throwing items. I don't really use them, though. All right, and then what else did we get from the gentleman? Luckily, the bag, if you notice in the top left corner, there's a little blue icon that indicates that it's a new item. So we picked up some sawtooth wheels. We didn't use a thermite. We got some ergo. Vehicle catalyst. We got that. What did we get over here? Okay, so we got the Workshop Union lightweight frame, which provides physical damage reduction rate. So if we go to the equipment menu, we can go ahead and equip that. There is weight in this game, but there does not seem to be item encumbrance, just armor or frame encumbrance. So it does affect your dodging. And then I think that was all we got. And then we got the keys. All right, so 15 minutes in, we killed our first big bad. And now it's time for Krot Central Station Plaza on the rainy night. So whenever you see this blue sort of aura, these are stargazers. And stargazers are this game's checkpoints, or bonfires for Souls fans. We can go ahead and use the stargazer. This recovers HP and stamina, as well as charges your pulse cells. You will revive at this point upon death. Remember, this process also revives enemies, not just your character.
This is called a stargazer. A marvelous device the stalkers used in the past.
Puppet threshold exceeds danger estimates. Please reduce puppet numbers or reset danger parameters.
As we are not strong enough to beat the puppets. But if I lent my power to this stargazer for a moment. Gather ergo, clever one. This stargazer will make you stronger. But the stargazer's strength doesn't last forever. So be careful with it. Hurry up and come to Hotel Krot.
All right, so one thing that I want to mention is that this stargazer, when we rest at it, does allow us to level up. However, when we meet Sophia in person, you will no longer be able to level up at stargazers. Instead, you have to go to Sophia. I did not understand that, and I think it was Louis Huesca in my stream told me that's what I had to do. So it's really just this one time you can level up at the stargazer, but once you meet her in person, then you've got to start doing it in person. All right, so we're going to level up our attack and then our vitality a little bit. So typical, leveling screen, vitality's health, vigor is stamina. Capacity is both Legion and weight, and I believe Legion is your magic. I could be mistaken on that. I haven't really found like a full tutorial of each of the stats. Motivity is related to physical attack as well as defense. So physical fire, electric blitz, and acid. Technique seems to also affect that stuff, but I believe technique affects the defenses more than motivity does. Motivity favors attack, technique favors defense, and then advance is sort of, I think, just resistances really, and Legion power. But again, not 100% sure of what Legion power is. And then you also have a storage that you can use. Let me see if the tutorials say anything about Legion. No. Actually, it does explain groggy. I would like to take another look at that. Okay. Yeah, so white is groggy available, then you use R2 to force groggy. Okay, cool. All right, so right here we do have another puppet. These little butler dudes, I think they're kind of cool looking. And then, of course, it would not be an action RPG without dogs. So I really, really love the environment of this game. I'm quite pleased with it. you know, I think the last, let's call it a Souls-like, that I really enjoyed was Mortal Shell. But even Mortal Shell, I felt like the parry window in Mortal Shell just like really wasn't good. It felt pretty bad. I did not like parrying in that game at all. This game just feels tight most of the time. I do wish the combat was a little tighter. Like, you'll see later on, I'm most likely going to die to a few things, some big enemies, just because dodging just doesn't feel that great sometimes. I know the game really wants you to block and parry and not dodge so much, but there are some attacks that you just got to, like, run away from, basically. All right. Clear ergo fragment. We can get another backstab. So you can basically run up to enemies and get backstabs. It's not like Elden Ring where you've got to like crouch and, you know, be all stealthy about it. You can literally just go for it most of the time. If there are other enemies around, they will wake up, of course, just like you saw there. But for the most part, you can just go for it. All right, let's come over here. Always try to be aware of your alcoves. It can be tricky. All right, so this door is locked. So we got to find another way around. So let's drop down here. This guy has a gun. And so he's sort of up there as a bit of a trap had we taken the stairs. All right. Oops, thought he was doing the other attack. You know, let me actually... All right. No, I didn't. I actually did not want to use that. I wanted to get the sawtooth wheels up. Yeah, there we go. I can at least show you what these do. All right, so you can see here there's an item behind this gate, so we know we need to start making our way around there. I always love when games do that. All right, so we have Fable Arts. These are, like I said, you press triangle to use a Fable Art, and then triangle while guarding to use the handle Fable Art. So they do take charges, and the charges build up while fighting enemies. So these red attacks cannot be blocked. They can be parried or perfect blocked, but yeah, you do want to be careful with them. All right, so you'll see now that there is a red bar flashing in the bottom right-hand corner. What you want to do is you want to switch... Oh, boy. You want to switch... Oh, jeez. You want to switch to this item here, which is the grinder, and then you want to hold square to use the grinder, and this actually repairs your weapon in real time. So you have to, like, really pay attention to your durability, and you have to grind... whenever it gets super low. Otherwise, at least according to the menu, the weapon will be destroyed, and then you won't have a weapon to use. Oh! Wrong. Not the end of the world that I did that. All right. Whew. Tough enemy there. I really, really like the enemy designs in this game. I think the Clockwork motif just works so well for a game in this era. It all just looks really good, and it matches with the environments, and everything just feels good. I am so pleased with this game. Ooh, forgot about him. All right, so we actually have two dogs. There's one over there. For some reason these dogs like can't really jump properly. I mean, I'm grateful for it, but it seems like every time they try to jump for me, they just fall. So I'm not sure if that's a reward for my spacing or if they're not really supposed to do that. I don't quite know. All right. So here is that item I was referring to before on the other side of that gate. So some nice recursive world design. We get Venigni's Urgent Repair Tool, or Venigni's Urgent Repair Tool. Not sure how they'd like to say it, but if we're going with Italian, I guess it'd be Venini. Venini. Okay, so we got that guy. I'm going to leave him because there's one... Oh, hello. There's one more spot that I'd like to explore. So you notice there that I actually fished for a backstab. That is possible in this game. And what's nice is the indicator just sort of tells you, like, hey, this is when you can backstab. I actually really like that because in Souls games, oftentimes, you just kind of don't know. And, you know, you'll sort of be fishing for backstabs. And they don't, like, totally work sometimes, even though they feel like they should. And, you know, if getting that to feel good is the priority, then I really think that just using an indicator is the way to go. I think they chose correctly there. Saves on development time.
Destination Hotel Quad.
Okay, so that's the hotel right there.
Location for observing the destination.
All right, now we can go up here. Unlock this door. And this brings us right near the Stargazer. So if you'd like, you could level up at this point. I'm actually going to because we are about to fight a boss, so it is worth leveling up. Yeah, I'm going to go with health. Okay. Alright. And just like other games of this genre, you can just sort of like run past things, get right to the shortcut, and get moving. That does work. Things only leash so far. Oh, well, guess we got some aggro here. Okay. I really, really like the grind mechanic. I think that's such a really cool idea.
And that's the only way in.
All right, so we will deal with all this in a second, but there is an item back here.
Be careful.
Introducing the parade puppet. Here appears a terrific puppet who will enliven the parade. Introducing Parade Master, a remarkable parade puppet model from the workshop to celebrate the grand exhibition. Hello there, I'm the Parade Master. I like singing and marching with people. The Parade Master has the following functions: 16 jolly songs, cheerful laughter, and 54 parade phrases, parade dances to delight children, and the strength to carry 6 men on his shoulders. So I like that they give you a little bit of lore for the upcoming boss. I think that's very nice. All right, so right here we have a training dummy. You do need to be careful because it can hit you, but it's actually really useful to practice your abilities, and it also teaches you, again, about Perfect Guard. Okay, so this is the vendor. This is an NPC. You can speak with him, and then if you speak with him again, he opens up his shop. So here are the other weapons. We have the Puppet's Saber Blade and the Puppet's Saber Handle, as well as the Wintry Rapier's Blade and Handle. And, of course, is the great sword that we purchased earlier. So he does sell a Feeble Catalyst for 160, although he doesn't seem to have any on him. He can't, okay, we have max in our bags, that's why. Throwing Cell is really helpful. It's a large output battery that can be thrown, helpful for the boss, as well as the Electric Blitz Abrasive, which enchants our weapons. So let's go ahead and buy both of these. And then I have run into this vendor again, and he did not sell the weapons later on. I'm not sure if it's just this location that sells the weapons. I guess we could actually find that out together. But if you want them, go ahead and purchase them now. They're pretty cheap. All right, let's go ahead and equip our consumables. And then when we enter here, we will fight the boss. Now, the boss is an interesting fight. It only took me a few attempts. However, the boss does have some tricks. So let's watch the cutscene. All right, this is the Parade Master. So I actually don't recommend enchanting your weapon right away, because this guy does have a second phase. Oops. All right, he's groggy available, so then you want to do your heavy attack and then walk in front. There is an indicator on the ground there that tells you where to stand. So now we're going to go ahead and enchant as well as repair, and then we are also going to throw our battery at him to get some damage going. And I was just trying to switch to heal. That's all I was trying to do, bro. Oof. He moves so much faster in phase 2. That attack was messing me up the first time too. So this is what I mean. Like, this is where it sort of starts to lose me a little bit, is sometimes the boss's attacks are just like so brutal, and they really should be, right? They should be brutal. But sometimes it just feels like unnecessary, and you can't really often tell like where it's coming from. And when the boss like glows red, that's the indicator that like, hey, this is an attack that you can't block. You have to either parry this or just get the hell out of the way. And I'm fine with attacks like that, but oftentimes you just can't really get away. Like, you just can't get away fast enough. So you'll notice that my pulse cell is glowing, and that means that my pulse cell is slowly filling up. And unfortunately, I do have to attack in order for it to fully fill up, which is fine. But the game basically gives you like one extra pulse cell to use. Come on, charge attack, dude. Charge attack, dude. Okay. I can't believe we actually got that. So the game basically gives you like one extra pulse charge, and this is what I mean by the subtitles. You could have given, like, you could sort of read them, but you kind of can't. So I'm hoping that at some point in the game you get like the full subtitles. But anyway, I was trying to explain a few things there. So you'll notice on the left, my pulse cell is filling purple. And so that only happens when you run out of pulse cells. You're able to generate one yourself by dealing damage to enemies. So it, again, like, the game is constantly rewarding aggression, very similar to Bloodborne. And it sort of allows you to extend fights by constantly healing. Now, we did get a couple things, so let's go ahead and visit the bag and see where they are. So we got the Parade Leader's Ergo, which gives us 5,000 Ergo. Really appreciate that they tell you how much it gives. And it says, Ergo obtained from the Parade Master. It is packed with immense power. A treasure hunter may want this rare Ergo. So to me, that says that there's probably a boss weapon vendor somewhere. Although the entire audience disappeared in a pool of blood, the Parade Master was cheerful. As long as there's a king, the show must go on. Okay, and then we also got Quartz, which is P organ ability activation part, a colorful tiny Ergo fragment. It activates a special ability when equipped on the P organ. So I haven't found the P organ, but I also did not defeat the final boss of this demo, so maybe you get it from that. Don't know. Okay, so we can exit the circus and start making our way to the Hotel Motel Holiday Inn.
attention. The hotel's security.
This is important. I'm going to raise this.
Like you. So you'll have to lie to get inside. You're a special puppet after all.
So we've got to lie to get in. All right, I'm just going to sort of case the perimeter here, just in case there are treasures. Yep, there's a couple over here. And there's one over here. So we got a moonstone, which is used for upgrading weapons. All right, I'm going to raise the volume and sort of play this out. And we will be presented with a choice to either tell the truth or lie. However, Sophia has told us to lie, so that's what we're going to do.
Welcome to the Sanctuary of the Grand Covenant. Prove your identity. Who are you? Grand Covenant's fourth law. A puppet cannot lie. Welcome to Hotel Krot.
All right, so this is the Hotel Krot. It's basically the hub of the demo. You will come back here a few times. Truth be told, I thought this is where the demo would end. They showed you the lie mechanic, they showed you combat, time to be done. No. And it even gives you a title screen. But no, there's still a lot more. I do like that this hotel looks like the Hollywood Tower Hotel from Disney World, or the Twilight Zone. I think that's pretty cool. I do like that the lying or loading screen shows the puppet's nose growing. I think that's cool. His nose does not grow when you lie there. If it does, it's a very small increment. But I did look. All right. So there's going to be a lot of exposition. I'm going to bump the volume now and just let it play out for you.
I'm so happy to see you. I am Sophia. I've been waiting for you. Searched all over the city of Krot to find you. You must have questions. Geppetto will have answers, but we have to find him first. He was last seen on Elysian Boulevard. All of Krot is dangerous for humans, and that neighborhood is one of the scariest. Please find Geppetto on Elysian Boulevard. I'll explain more once you find him. Wait, take this pocket watch. Krot is a labyrinth of peril right now. This watch will guide you to a safe place. Be careful, clever one. Look at Gemini. I think he's in shock.
Gemini is fine.
That's proof you're broken. The real Gemini isn't so calm. I'm no inventor, but perhaps I can fix him. Or perhaps he'll fix himself in time. I'll use my power to help you.
All right, so this is what I was talking about. So you can level up at that first Stargazer, but every other time, at least that I've found, you've got to come back here and speak with Sophia. Okay. So like I mentioned, this is Hotel Krot. This is the hub of the game, of Timothy Chalamet Simulator. So we have this gentleman over here. This is sort of the bellman, or, the front desk. So let's speak with him. Again, I'll raise the volume up for you.
Welcome to Hotel Krat. My name is Polendina, butler to Lady Antonia. Please let me know how I may be of service.
Look at his fingers.
At Hotel Krat, comfort and calm walk hand in hand. Welcome to Hotel Krat. How may I be of service?
So he sells these items, Legion magazines. Truth be told, not 100% sure. Oh, this is to refill it. Okay, I'm actually going to buy one of these to test it out. I guess this is to refill the arm. Okay, cool. Glad I did that. So I am going to speak with this guy because he does have some interesting lore.
The Grand Covenant is a set of absolute commands imprinted on puppets when they are made. First law. All puppets must obey their creator's commands. Second law. A puppet may not harm humans. Third law. A puppet protects and serves humans and the city of Krat. Fourth law. A puppet cannot lie. I've told you about the laws engraved upon every puppet. Do you require anything else?
Okay, so that is Polendina, the butler, to Lady Antonia. And Lady Antonia is actually just around this corner, so we can speak with her as well. Ooh, piece of candy. Oh, I didn't see this the first time. Hotel Krat is one of the city's creepiest and most mysterious buildings. According to lore, Hotel Krat is an isolated castle built by an aristocrat devoted to a form of occultism after receiving a revelation from a radiant tree. At one point, it was used as a mental institution, and some patients said they saw hallucinations. However, no records remain as they were all destroyed in a large fire. Above all, being so far underground just compounds the rumors. What? Above all, being so far underground just compounds the rumors. Some even said that it is connected to an unknown hell. But it's above ground. But now the rumors have served to embellish the charm of Hotel Krat, which has been renovated in the latest style. As the recent rumors of the grand exhibition Ghost Hotel spread, more customers are actually looking to stay at the hotel. Next is a comment from the hotel owner, Ms. Antonia. A ghost hotel? I've heard that more times than I can remember. But fortunately, our hotel guests are brave like lions. It's not a problem at all. Rating 4 out of 5, creepy and mystical, best resort in Krat. Reporter Medoro. This guide was made with the support of the Vanini Company, a friend of the city. Okay, let's speak with Lady Antonia.
Unexpected guests are welcome. We don't insist on reservations. I am Antonia, and this is my hotel. Welcome. Oh, I knew from the moment we met that you're Geppetto's puppet. He might have a few loose screws, but Geppetto's skills are undiminished. It's a shame. He took off for Elysian Boulevard, and he never came back. If it doesn't turn up soon, we'll have to make a new coffin. Oh, I forgot. I was keeping this for him. It comes with a long story, but I think it's better off with you. Please find that old man, and do take care of yourself out there.
So we got someone's memory and show off clothes gesture.
People have no idea so many secrets are buried in Krat. Thanks for keeping me company. What are you curious about? I see you're here. That means you can lie. Your lies are a rare ability. You're able to choose your own path, unbound by anything. People on the outside are still afraid of puppets. Lie to protect yourself and find your path. I'm an old friend of Geppetto's. His son is like family to me. Make yourself at home. You're always welcome here at the hotel. If you have any questions, ask my butler, Polendina.
Okay. So there is one more NPC here in the hotel, and it is a staple. It's effectively the blacksmith. So we can come over here and speak with this woman at the table.
I heard about you from Geppetto, but to see you in person, wow. You should take this. Geppetto left it with me.
So this is a Legion arm. Legion arm is special equipment that is equipped on the left arm. Each Legion arm has its own combat ability. Legion arm can be modified into all sorts of forms. Modifications can be made using the Vanini craft machine.
The sound of it alone. That craftsmanship comes only from the hands of Geppetto. You must be something else. A custom arm from Geppetto himself is quite an accessory. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Eugenie from the Workshop Union. I know my way around weapons of all kinds. I'm sure Master Geppetto would agree. If any of your weapons need work, bring them to me.
Okay. So we can use the materials that we found to upgrade our weapons. So if we have a hidden moonstone, we can upgrade this to +1. However, yeah, let's do it. We get more weapons in this demo, so that's why I was hesitating, but I think we're okay. So we can also alter the handle. It says you can bring Eugenie cranks to alter weapon handles. Each handle's property upgrades based on your character's basic stats. You can change this property and grade one time with a handle alteration. However, you can always reset it with a balanced crank. So unfortunately, I have not found any motivity cranks or any cranks at all in this demo. Maybe they're just in a spot I haven't looked yet, but that is how you would do that. Okay.
A stargazer is a survival device used by the stalkers. It powers itself by accumulating and absorbing ergo spores in the air. The stalkers installed stargazers all across the city. Once they're recovered, we can put them to use. If you want to test your skills or try new techniques, head for the garden. The stalkers captured a puppet to use for training. Don't look at me like that. Everyone hates puppets. I know whose side you're on.
Okay. Which basically just tells us about the training dummy. Now we can go. All right. So you'll notice that we have this new fangled hand, the Legion arm, and you'll notice that our L2 is changed to puppet string. And puppet string is sort of like a scorpion spear from Mortal Kombat. You can press L2, and unfortunately these are training dummies, so we can't really move these. However, we can use these to pull enemies towards us, as well as set off traps within the city. So this is going to become extremely, extremely useful to us. All right. The other thing that we got a couple things from Antonia. So let's go to the equipment menu, and then we can change our costume to the someone's memory, the uniform of a sophisticated and dignified boarding school. The clothes have been worn before. The uniform of a boarding school famous in Krot, the initial M is engraved on elegant brooch. So we can go ahead and change that and look like Timothée Chalamet from Little Women. So we also get accessories. I haven't found one in the demo yet, but maybe they're somewhere. All right. So with this stargazer here, if we use it, we will be able to quick travel to any stargazer that we have found in the world. And you'll notice that Hotel Krot on that little tooltip had faces. So I'm assuming that if we were to find other stargazers near NPCs, it may show them to us. But you can always press square on this menu to quickly warp back to the hotel. All right, time to move on. Let's just quickly check upstairs for any treasure. So the doors of the hotel are sealed. Maybe you'll be able to unlock them at some point, but as of right now, you cannot. No treasure. Okay, moving on. So we can actually read this. It says, great fortune to all visitors, rest for travelers, blessings to all friends. So there's a lot of flavor text around the city. So I do appreciate that the puppet uses his strong arm to open things. Okay. Back in the streets.
Hey, let's be more careful. The Black Rabbit Brotherhood. I hate these guys.
All right,
But
so
don't be alarmed. My name is Gemini. We'll talk later, when we're safe.
all right, so Gemini is the voice in the lamp. And so he sort of acts as your guide, you know, part of the story. And he's more of like a helper. And you'll see that when we do a side quest here in the demo, but let's speak with him now.
Are you? You are! Finally, someone is talking to me! I'm Gemini, your friendly puppet guide. Or friendly guide puppet? I don't know, one of those. I'm also a friend of Sophia's. Last time I woke up, Sophia was there because she woke me up. But I'm sure there are still other memories in there. Sorry. Must be the shock. Bear with me, and I'll do my best to guide you.
Okay. So he just sort of talks as you're adventuring. I haven't really run into like a dedicated cutscene with him or anything like that, but he is quite helpful. Alrighty. So we come over here. We can backstab this puppet here. Get ourselves a nice throwing cell. I really do like this broadsword. It's just very helpful for like packs of enemies. And you do sort of get a little overrun in the streets here.
You wanted fancy boutiques and shops. No place better. But that was long ago. Before the puppet frenzy.
Okay, so this door we cannot get through. We got to unlock it from the other side. You can see some items over there, so we'll get to that a little later. Yeah. So we got a dog, and what I recommend doing is actually using your puppet string to bring it towards you. This way you don't have to deal with the dog. Oh, I forgot he had a gun. Whoops. So, the targeting system of this game could use some love. At least I think it could. Oftentimes, it will target, like, it'll give target priority to stuff in the distance or like stuff that's not directly in front of you. Hopefully that'll get worked on before the final release. So we got the Lada F-150 frame. Let's go ahead and equip that. You'll notice that the weight goes way up, but so does the defense. So, worth it in my eyes. Okay. So you do have a quick climb of ladders if you hold circle. Alright, as you're turning this corner, just watch out because that guy's there. And then there's also a guy with a gun in the distance. So I'm actually going to just quickly run over and deal with him. And then we'll deal with this puppet here. Okay, and then we can come over here, claim this treasure, and then drop this ladder. And then this ladder, if you look closely, you can see the Stargazer on the bottom left there. So nice world design. Okay, this is where things get a little tough. So we have this big enemy here, and he is a big boy. So I'm going to do my best to take care of him. But he hits hard for a lot of damage. I was trying to fish for a backstab there. It didn't work out. Okay, so we got sort of critical. I always forget the name, like the name of that. Groggy. It's a very British word. So we got the attribute resistance ampoule and a star fragment. What do star fragments do? So the ampoule boosts your resistance to status effects. That's going to come in handy later. And then we got special material, star fragment. Can be used at the cracks calling in front of a boss area to summon a specter. Right. So specter summoning is, it grants you the ability to summon an NPC to help you. It sort of seems like a clone of you. It's not a human player. It's 100% like AI controlled. In my experience, they're not that intelligent, but it doesn't seem to raise the boss health when you do it, like when you summon them. So it is helpful. So we also have a puppet behind us. Yep, there he is. Oh! Oh, God. I thought he was dead. That's my bad. I thought he was dead. That's okay. Oh, if you press X, you get new tips. Didn't know that. Try that again. Oh, cool. You can actually pull them for a backstab if they're facing away from you. Nice. That's really cool. All right. I'm not 100% sure if the big white dude respawns. So I guess we're going to find out together. I also like how it's not blood he gets covered in, it's oil. I really dig that. No, he does not respawn. That's good. Although I am curious like what the classification for that is. That's so sick. So now another enemy can come charging through this door. All right, so let's check out the item here to see if we can actually... Cool. Yeah, that replenishes that. Okay, I didn't know that existed. Oof. Didn't realize he had such a quick wake up. Sharp pipe, that's a throwing object, the sharp pipe, so it's not like a big key item or anything. So what I will say is that if you go back and you watch the first gameplay reveal of this game, or at least the one that came out last year, it takes place in this area, and some janky things happened on this bridge in particular. So when I got here the first time, I was like really pleasantly surprised to find that that jank did not happen in this demo. So it has definitely gotten polished in the past few months. Okay, so this is the shortcut back to the Stargazer here. This is the puppet on top of the wagon, and I'll just go through this shortcut so you can see it. This guy might get sort of stuck on here. No, didn't happen. He got stuck my first time playing this. So the Stargazer is right through here, right in the distance there. So that's the ladder that we took, but now we have this door open. All right, you may be tempted to go this way. I don't recommend it. It's a bit of a trap. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this guy, give him the quick backstab, and then you'll notice the guy with the shotgun up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go this way. This way I can like cleanly get around without having to really worry about anything. Now, I made a mistake. He doesn't have a shotgun. Instead, he doesn't have a shotgun. Instead, he has the these things, these electric canisters that he's throwing, so you do have to be careful about that. So you don't want to rush through here, but you want to move a little quickly. So you can do plunging attacks in this game. You don't have to wait for the indicator, but the indicator is like what really helps you. So you see here, oh god, see here I got electric shock. That is from the bombs that he's throwing. And electric shock, it's a really devastating, ailment in that it, one, does a lot of damage, but it also, I don't know if it does repeating damage. Let's see if it comes up in the guide. Okay. Maybe the guide is per save. We're going to learn about static shock when it happens. I think if you die to it, you get a tooltip for it, which, you know, is a little late, but that's okay. But yeah, just, you don't want to deal with status elements if you can help it. Don't forget to repair. The Frozen Man's letter. He does speak of a cathedral in this letter, which I think is interesting. I'm not sure if you ever get to the cathedral, but he says that he sends his wife and daughter to the cathedral. So we didn't actually have to kill that guy that way, because what we can do is come over here and go up this ladder. And now we're going to be able to get our revenge on the puppets that are throwing those electric bottles. Like this guy. Oh, I didn't even see that guy. So we would be able to drop on the guy that we killed over here. All right, so we have this big guy here, and he packs a wallop, so be careful if you're fighting him. Try not to fight near ledges if you can help it. So one thing I really wish this game allowed you to do was cancel animations. And I get why, like, you know, you're part machine, so it wouldn't make a lot of sense for a machine to be able to cancel animations, but getting, like, locked into attacks just doesn't feel great. And this becomes especially noticeable if you were to use gestures. So if you were to equip a gesture right here, like show off clothes, right? And then we hold X and we press left. I am mashing every single button on the controller. You cannot get out of this animation. Little rough. A little rough. I'm glad that there's no motion control gestures like there are in the Souls games. I always unequip those, but you know, I always unequip them after I do it once because I just have forgotten. So, yeah, a little strange that there's no that you can't cancel the animations. But so that big guy is guarding a life amulet, which increases your max HP. So be sure to equip that when you get it. And over here we have a Stargazer. And this is the first time that I noticed when using a Stargazer that I couldn't level up anymore. That's because you got to go back to Sophia. All right. And then in here we have the merchant once again.
Why, hello. I know. Don't worry. For your information.
So he no longer has the weapons. However, he has another weapon that he sells called the Electric Coil Stickhead. And this has a pretty good guarding fable art. Generate greatly increases electric blitz attack temporarily, so I think it just buffs the weapon. That said, though, it is a little weak. So the physical attack is only 50, but it does have 50 electric blitz, which is helpful for puppet enemies. But we'll go ahead and purchase it, for the sake of the demo, and then we can move on. Let's go ahead and switch our weapons now. Actually, do we just change equipment load? Yeah, it does. Okay, no big deal. Okay. All right, so we have an elevator here. This elevator doesn't work right now, so we will have to find a way to activate it. Oh, actually, let's go ahead and test if that guy has weapons at his other spot. I love that it says now lying. All right, let's do the test. See what happens. Interesting. It's not raining here anymore, so that weather change is global. That's cool.
Out here alone?
Okay, so his inventory just doesn't carry from place to place to place. Good to know. I find that interesting. I don't know if I find that good. I do find it interesting, though, considering it's the same, merchant. In any case, let's go back to where we were. inside the house on Elysian Boulevard. Electric shock increases the electrical and physical damage received by both your character and monsters. Right. Inflicts continue. Yeah, so electric shock puts a dot on you, so you're constantly getting shocked for the duration. So it's basically this game's version of poison. Right. Okay. Man, I knew there was going to be somebody there. So something interesting is going to happen over in this area here. Gemini's going to start glowing red.
Wait, I can sense something strange. Jeepers. Is that a butterfly?
All right. So there are butterflies that fly around in certain areas, and when you get close, they appear. So these butterflies, if you want to think of it like a Souls game, these are your crystal lizards. So you do need to kill them. The tooltip that appears says they do disappear eventually. So it says occasionally a dimensional butterfly will appear in parts of Krot. Monad's lamp can detect the butterfly and lights up red to point out its location. When the character is near the hiding butterfly, it will appear. After a certain amount of time, the butterfly will disappear into another dimension. Kill it to get useful materials. So we got a moonstone for killing it. And it also sort of leads us into a star fragment. Whoa! I didn't know this guy was here. Never saw this guy before. So this tells you about the Alchemist Bridge, which we will get to eventually. So let's come over here. We do need to go to the street, but let's come in here first. Right, okay. Okay. I'm going to turn up the volume. We're going to do a side quest here. So I'm going to turn up the volume, and you can see a shadow in this window, which I think is really, really cool. Very cool way to do this. Feels like a step up from Bloodborne's just lit windows.
Oh, my poor baby. Oh, this must be your first time in the petrification disease quarantine zone. For most people, this is their last stop. You are a good Samaritan for coming all the way here. Kind one. May I ask you a favor? My family took my baby from me and sent me here. They said it was for my own good, but it was heartless just the same. A baby must be with its mother. Please go to Krot City Hall and bring me my baby. Please, thank you so much, kind one. I can finally see my sweet Elena's face again. Please hurry. Hard scales spreading across my eyes. Before I lose my sight, please.
She said the baby was at City Hall. Should we check it out? Oh, I hope everybody's safe.
So I don't know if you saw there, I tried to highlight it with the camera, but she sticks her hand out the window. So we have a side quest to find this lady's baby, and hopefully the dingo did not eat it. All right, so we have this big enemy here, and believe it or not, this enemy drops a weapon. Oh my God, the damage, the diggity damage. Oh, he hit me out of it. Oh, that sucks. I was trying to get the big attack off. It's a 3-hit combo there. Alright, so we got the Crot Police Baton head and Crot Police Baton handle. However, I'm not going to use it just yet, but you can equip it right away if you'd like. It's not as long as the one that he has, but it does, give you everything. So I do like that, there are these big bad enemies. Some of them don't really seem like they're going to be, they're not really going to do much for you, but then they end up dropping full-blown weapons. All right. And then over here, we can unlock another shortcut. So there's this shortcut here. However, there's a better shortcut over here. Ta-da! We're back. All right, let's go back down to the street, go through that other door that we opened. The other way to get there is to just drop down, using the ladder near where we found the butterfly, but it all goes to the same place, so we'll just use this path. So this is what I mean where, I wish we could cancel animations because, he is guarding, technically, but he can start guarding during our attack string. And so our attack will bounce off of him and then he will get a free attack, but we can't get a perfect block off of that. It just doesn't feel good. I do wish it was a little bit different. I'll try to demonstrate it again when we find another one of those enemies. So, oh, whoa, why didn't that backstab? Okay, so you'll notice that I hit something on the ground there, and it was a trap. So I will demonstrate that a bit better. I thought I was getting a backstab there. I'll demonstrate that a little bit better in a minute, because these traps are everywhere on the streets. Case in point. All right, so what we can do is we can actually target these things and then use the puppet string to pull them, and then that sets off the trap. So you can use that to your advantage and sort of kite enemies near these things, target it, press L2 for puppet string, and then it sets off the trap. It's really, really useful. Okay. can actually do it right here with these dogs. Just like that. So you can set off these traps, and then, you know, these electric shock is like a poison, so it just keeps dealing ticking damage, which is really, really helpful. Of course, it does come at the cost of using puppet string, but I feel like that's a small price to pay. All right, so this is the ladder up to the butterfly area. We already did that, so no need for that. Ooh, I didn't realize the big guy was here. Okay. Fable takes a while to build, but when you get that big attack, man, it feels good. It feels really good. Oh, I could have just kited him into the traps. Silly me. Alright, so unfortunately there's just a trap here, so I'm going to hit this and just back up, let it spark off, and then wait for it to go away, and we'll get the chest. Insulation converter, which is just armor. Right? Yeah. Appendage parts that increase the attribute resistance of puppets. Enhances resistance to electric shock, which is going to be very helpful for an upcoming boss. I'm not really sure where this goes. Oh, okay. We're going to go back this way. And then, believe it or not, we are close to a boss. So I am going to heal up. I'm actually going to level up just because of how many souls we have.
For your information.
So I'm going to purchase some ampoules. They're really going to help. 2 went to storage, I guess. All right, let's go back to the hotel, level up, and then we'll fight another boss. Not the last boss, but another boss. I said at the beginning, this is a long demo.
I'll use my power.
Oh, there's one thing in the hotel I want to talk about. It's this. This is a record player or a phonograph. I don't have any records in my possession, but I guess it's like a jukebox. I'm excited to find records in this game for sure. Okay. Let's level up our weapon as well.
I know my way
Let's go to +2. All right, so the boss we're going to fight next is a member of the gang that Gemini was telling us about. It's a human. It's the first human that we fight in this game. And it's important to remember that because of what happens in the cutscene after the fight. Notice that the puppet has not been, reacting to killing other puppets. There's been no emotional reaction, nothing. However, it's going to be a little bit different for a human. All right, so let me demonstrate with these guys what I was talking about before. So watch. I'm going to hit him. That didn't work. All right. They can block fast is what I'm trying to illustrate. They can block fast, and they block faster than you can recover from a hit, which I think just needs to be adjusted. Alrighty. Purge puppets on the Alchemist Bridge during the cloudy morning. All puppets will be destroyed.
Geppetto, you've got a lot to answer for. You know what caused the puppet frenzy, don't you? You're their maker, practically their father. You and the alchemist scheming together. Tell me the truth. What's your problem? I'm here for the old man. Get lost. Wait. I know you. Or more like, I know what you are. You're the devil's puppet. You can't sneak past me.
All right.
Die!
Welcome to the Mad Donkey fight. He has these big lumbering attacks. Ooh, I didn't realize it was a 3-piece combo there. However, he can be parried with some ease. I'm really not demonstrating this well at all. This might take me a couple of attempts. Oh my god, it's the repeat attacks, man. So, oddly enough, you can actually fish for backstabs on this guy, which I think is kind of funny.
Then string you up on the bridge!
So, I'm not sure if it's scripted or what, but I have broken his weapon before. Yeah, I've gotten his weapon to break.
For sure.
I will try it again. Yeah, I ended up breaking his weapon, and then he no longer had the big saw. I'm not sure what caused the weapon to break, but it happened around the 50% mark last time. I do appreciate that the elevator is always here. You don't have to send it back. So that right there, he does that faster than you're able to respond to. And I don't think that's fair. I think you should have an opportunity at the very least to get a perfect block. Maybe not a full block, but I think you should have the chance to do a perfect block. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Meant to do that.
You can't sneak past me. Die!
Oh, dear God. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so you got to parry it enough times, and then it goes away. Cool. Glad I was able to demonstrate that again.
This time it's destroyed
Okay.
for sure.
Try it again. It's a hard game. It is a hard game. It's funny, like with the grogginess, like it sort of gives you the idea that, hey, like I should be able to just do a charged R2 here, but you really got to still position yourself correctly. I think it's fine. It's just you got to really condition yourself to think that way. And I'm speaking, like I'm thinking out loud. Like I'm realizing I need to condition myself. Yeah, that right there, like, you're in the middle of an animation that, like, you should be comboing from, right? Like, it makes sense for you to be able to combo, but it's like suddenly you can't, and there's nothing for you to respond to. I don't know, I don't like it. It's just those enemies specifically, which kind of gives me the indication that maybe it'll be adjusted. Also, something for you to notice is if you look in the top right corner, I have 216 souls, and then underneath it, it says 596. That's because my bloodstain has 596 ergo on it. So it's nice. It always tells you what you're missing.
Can't sneak past me. Die!
Jesus. Oh my God, I almost feel like restarting. Good God, dude.
This time it's destroyed for sure.
This is hard. I didn't have this hard of a time with him the first time through. I'm happy to leave this in. People ask me to leave in my mistakes all the time. I am going to stop messing with these dudes, though, just to have all my health available. They shouldn't follow onto the bridge. I hope. Wow, this guy, I was gonna say, he's really gung-ho about his job. All right, cool.
You can't sneak past me. Die!
Man, the timing window is so weird. Like, it's not that the timing window is weird. It's like what you're able to do after an attack doesn't feel correct. God damn, dude. Nope. Ugh, come on. There you go.
I'll kill you both.
Yeah, sometimes there's like a sometimes there's like an indicator on the ground for what you can do there. Sometimes there's not. All right, cool. So we broke his weapon again. That's helpful. Does a lot less damage now. We also got a little bit of healing back. It's nice. Somebody just shot me. All right. So that's that. That's the second boss. But like I said, not the last boss. However, very important thing happens here.
Finally, we meet. Son.
It's a dream come true. Seeing you like this.
I understand why some people despise me. I invented the puppets, after all. I should take responsibility as their maker. But in order for me to do that, I need to take care of the puppets at City Hall. Won't you help me, son? Take this. You'll find it most useful. I want to hear all about your experiences, but now isn't a good time. Use the Stalker's key to open the bridge door. Then get rid of the frenzied puppets that have seized City Hall. We'll catch up at Hotel Krat when you're done.
Okay, so that is our introduction to Geppetto, and when he said we finally meet Son, I was like, oh, it's over. Nope, more. So it just keeps going. All right, so let's repair really quick, and then we did get some items. So we got the Mad Donkey's mask, which is the mask worn by the Mad Donkey. It is the mask of one blindly seeking the truth. The madman wanted to find the real truth. Blinded by his stubbornness, he failed to see the approach of death. And then we also got the Mad Donkey's hunting apparel. The hunting apparel of the Mad Donkey, it reeks of brutal violence. The madman, who was now terminally ill, no longer feared puppets or the petrification disease. He simply wanted to know the truth, the reason for his colleagues' bloodshed. The drip is real. And then got a couple of other things here. Let's go to the bag. None of these. Wasn't rare ergo either. Nope. Okay. Enigma assembly tool. A tool that can assemble and disassemble a weapon's blade and handle. Weapon Assemble is available through Stargazers and Eugenie. When dealing with a non-human enemy, it was necessary to do away with common sense. The workshop and the stalkers assembled various blades and handles, focusing on making the greatest weapons. And then... didn't we get another amulet? No. Maybe that comes later. Anyway, so we can now break weapons apart and mix and match handles and heads, or handles and blades, if you will, to create weapons of our own, which is really cool. So you can do it either at Stargazers or at Eugenie. And I'll show you that menu now. This is Krot City Hall on the cloudy morn.
So about that weapon assembly tool you were talking about. If you find any more weapons, let's try using them here.
So weirdly, that cancels your use of the Stargazer just that one time. But we can now assemble weapons, and it says assemble weapons through Eugenie at the hotel or at the Stargazers in different areas. Separate your weapons into blade and handle, and assemble them into new weapons that match your character's battle style. A weapon's features are decided by the handle and blade combo. So you can literally break things apart, create your own weapons using various heads. If the head is currently attached to a handle, performing this assembly will break them. However, you'll notice that the heads maintain their upgrades, which is really cool. I'm going to leave the electric coil stick as it is. I'm not going to mess with it, but that weapon is available to you. Okay, so if you remember, the sick lady wanted us to find her baby near City Hall. So that's what we're going to do. That didn't work out. See that right there? I don't get that. He blocks, we can't do anything about it. Anyway. Alright, so we see that this is a shortcut door. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. We see that this is a shortcut door, so we can find access to that eventually. Picking up quite a lot of star fragments, which allow us to summon for boss fights. Remember that. So this thing right here indicates to me that this game's going to get pretty weird. Yeah. Odd. You'll notice now that we have 4 flasks. I believe killing the Mad Donkey gives us one. It's not obvious that it does, but you know, that is when it happens. Alrighty. So this enemy over here is guarding the baby, although, you know, clearly things didn't go well here. Okay, so something interesting I want to point out here is I'm going to raise the volume, and when we obtain this item, something's going to happen.
Oh, no. No survivors here. What do we do? Just give her that baby puppet?
So I find that a little helpful. I find it helpful, but I find it's sort of teetering a line of, like, is the game sort of telling you when to do things versus is it just, I don't know, giving a natural feel to it? But Gemini basically tells us, hey, we should go back to visit that lady who was asking for a baby. So, broken baby puppet, a broken puppet covered in wounds. It was left in the City Hall garden, a luxury item that the child of a rich family once played with. It is unknown where the puppet's owner is. So let's go back to the woman and see what happens. Interesting graffiti. Didn't notice that last time. I really think this world is quite something. I think it's really well made. Just feels good to walk around. Okay. So luckily the big Bobby cop is dead permanently, the one that we got the weapon off of, so we don't have to worry about him. So we can just, So we can just walk right into this courtyard and go back up the ladder and speak with the woman.
You found her, kind one. I could sense her from miles away. Oh, my sweet Elena. Please let me hold her.
I'm going to choose to tell the truth here.
There, my baby. I missed you so much. What do you think? Isn't my baby adorable? What's wrong, kind one? This is my baby. My sweet Elena. Did my family convince you to lie? Don't do it. That road leads to nothing but sadness. I should know. I am so grateful to you, kind one. Please take this token of gratitude.
All right. So you speak the truth, and yet she doesn't believe you. So if you remember, when we first accepted the quest, she said that hard scales were growing over her eyes. So it seems like by the time we get back to her, she has gone completely blind. But likely because the doll smells like her daughter, that could be why, she's thinking it's her daughter. But very interesting nonetheless. I don't know what happens if you lie. I just don't know. That said, maybe it's the same reward, but I just thought that telling the truth was more interesting. That's what I did my first time through, and I felt like I should showcase that instead of lying. All right, so we have 3,200. I'm going to go back and level one more time, just because we are about to fight a very difficult boss that I have not actually killed before. So I want to be mindful of that fact, and I want to get into this fight as strong as possible. Truth be told, I don't know if the demo ends here. I kind of think it does, but I've been proven wrong on that front several times. I thought it was supposed to end after the first boss. When the title came up, I thought it was supposed to end right as Geppetto said, "Good to meet you, son." Like, it seems like there's logical places for this game to end, or for this demo to end, but it doesn't. Okay. Can't oh. Yeah, and we need the cranks to alter the handle, which I don't have.
I'll use my power.
Well, let's see if there's an animation for this, actually. Okay. Not really. Technically, yes, but...
I'll use my power.
Alrighty, let's go. So the boss we're about to fight, like I said, is quite difficult. It's a really big Bobby cop. Granted, I'm obviously American. We don't call them Bobbies over here. I don't know if they're Bobby cops or just Bobbies, but if you're from, Great Britain, let me know. I really have no idea. Anyway, it's one of them, but he's sort of like a mechanical spider. It's wild to look at. And the boss is fun. I actually do enjoy fighting it, but I do think that this boss in particular highlights some of the shortcomings of this game's combat system, in that you don't really have a lot of time to recover, and when the boss uses a lightning ability or an electric shock ability, what ends up happening is you don't really have much time to do anything about it, and you can't really get out of the way. So not 100% clear if I'm doing something wrong or if that's just the way it is. So interestingly, that big dude respawns. Yeah, just find that a little interesting. Alrighty. Go ahead and open up the treasure here. I believe this is a medallion. Yeah, the patient's amulet. So this increases stamina recovery speed, which is very helpful. Let me check to make sure I have any other equipment to equip. Don't think I do. No. All right, very, very important. We need to equip our attribute purification ampule as well as our resistance ampule. Ooh, reflection on the glass. And the reason for that is because this boss deals a lot of electric shock damage. So, got to be very, very mindful of that. So, this tooltip tells us about specters. It says, use a star fragment at the cracks calling next to the boss area to summon a specter. It will help your character in the boss battle. I'm going to do this because this boss is hard. And so all we got to do is investigate it and then use a star fragment. And you'll notice like when you do this, like nothing happens. But that's because the specter is already in the arena. So basically just automatically summons them once you get in. There's no animation or anything. The specter is just there. Okay, so you don't really have to worry about electric shock in the first phase. That's mostly a second phase thing, but we are going to repair. And get this cool cutscene. All right. Here we go. This is the scrapped Watchman. So you can see there, the Spectre's already in the arena. And then the boss is this big wind-up arm attack that we can do a perfect block on. And then if you're smart enough, you just wait for the boss to move and start attacking you, but I wasn't. So you'll notice that like the Spectre isn't incredibly intelligent. However, it does keep aggro on the boss for quite a while. It doesn't ever heal. It doesn't ever really do anything other than just take damage and die. But it is kind of cool. All right, so this is what I'm talking about here, like where it doesn't really feel like you have an opportunity to get away from the boss while it's doing crazy things. Also, this grab here, the boss is not able to be attacked during that animation. So, unfortunately, that does mean that you kind of just have to deal with it. And so, as you saw there, like I really couldn't get away from the boss while he was doing that bigger attack, which kind of sucks. And what frustrates me, oh God, what frustrates me about that is the area of effect for that attack is huge, but you just can't get away from him. So I am deliberately moving out of the way here. Jesus. When the boss slams his hand down after that wind-up attack, you'll notice electricity on the ground. A second after that happens, lightning is going to strike there, so you can't stand there. But when the boss does his big AoE explosion, it just doesn't feel like you can get out of it, even though like you have to be close range with this boss. So I'm not really sure if there's a way to interrupt it. In this next attempt, I'm going to try to use puppet string, see if maybe that does something. But yeah, it just doesn't feel great. Interestingly, you can leash all these enemies and run past them. And then what will end up happening is they will drop aggro basically once you get up those steps. So it allows you to be safe in summoning the Spectre, as well as grabbing your Bloodstain here. So you can see they just all drop aggro right away. So let's summon the Spectre again and give it another try. I do like this. I just think that's a cool little animation. So we get that off. It's great. We're doing really well here. So I'm going to go ahead and use my amp pool. I'm also going to repair because the boss is going to do his big shock thing. And we're going to get ready with some of that. So yeah, you can see the Spectre is just sort of dying at this point. Not really helping. So I do hope maybe eventually they will get better, but I don't have a lot of faith in it. I have no idea why I didn't take any damage there. I have taken damage literally on every other attempt when he does that big explosion. Maybe it's because I was underneath him. I don't quite know. All right, so the Spectre vanished, so now it's all on me. And this is where the boss gets very difficult. So that's a grab right there, that big lumbering animation. That's hard to do anything about. Wow, managed to block that. That was crazy. Yeah, see, I just got shocked out of that, which doesn't feel great, but it's okay. Ugh. So he's saying something down there. I think that ending is my friends, but I can't be certain. Yeah, like getting out of that just doesn't feel good. I don't really understand that. I don't know how to like avoid this. I don't get it. Cool, we got the boss. That's great. I haven't done this, so overcharged storage battery. I wish those didn't disappear. I really wish those didn't disappear because I can't read anything. I don't read fast. Anyway, let's see what we got. I'm grateful that they at least have the stars on here. Broken Heroes Ergo. Ergo obtained from the scrapped Watchman. It is packed with immense power. A treasure hunter may want this rare Ergo. The Watchman contorted and broke from the adult's desires. However, he never forgot the children who considered him their friend. Oh, okay, that explains the my friends thing. Overcharged storage battery. Legion arm core part. The scrapped Watchman's central core. Legion arm with immense power can be crafted by Eugenie or the Venini craft machine. The plan of Krotz City Hall's Watchman ultimately failed. The Watchman, whose storage battery had swelled and back had bent horribly, became an angry judge and swept through Elysian Boulevard. Core. P-organ core part. A key part that can activate the P-organ. Activating the P-organ allows quartz to be equipped. The P-organ is the quintessence of the brilliant craftsman Geppetto's puppet skills. Rare parts are necessary to develop a device like that. Did I get any armor? No. Okay. Venini's Guide. Dear citizens of Krot, the factory has been occupied by the puppets. Whatever the cause, Venini Company is responsible for it. I, Lorenzini Venini, yeah, it's definitely Italian, am going alone to stop those devils. The factory is very dangerous now. Stay out of it and keep safe. The rest I'll leave for Mr. Geppetto, whom I trust more than anyone. God save us all. Regards, Lorenzini Venini. This keeps going? Dude, what?
Whew, I think we're done here, pal. Back to the hotel.
Okay. That door. I don't want to trigger something by opening that door, so let's go back to the hotel. I'm going to bump the volume because I assume there's going to be a lot of talking. Either that or a title screen.
You saved Geppetto. Wonderful. He is on the second floor. He can hardly wait to see you.
Cool. It's like round table hold. The doors open when new people show up. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Ah, you've returned. Forgive a sentimental father for worrying about his son. Always remember that you're precious to me. Even when I ask you to do something dangerous. Speaking of which, there's a factory just beyond Elysian Boulevard. It's packed with countless puppets. My friend, the inventor Vanini, went to stop them, but he never came back. Please, go save him and shut down the factory. P organs are the source of your powers. Collect quartz to get the strength you need. Remember, the hotel is the last safe place in Krat. It's our only refuge in a city full of perils. It'll be extremely dangerous if anyone has ill intentions. Be careful who you tell about this place, especially if they're stalkers or alchemists. Be wary of dangerous people, and always be a good boy to me.
Thank you for P-laying. Oh, you can keep going, though. I mean, you could use the stuff you got. That's cool. Let me lower this again. All right. Use the P organ slots to activate your character's latent abilities. Equip quartz on the P organ to obtain its corresponding effect. If you equip quartz in each of the slots in a single group, you can gain the group's synergy effect. Each time synergy effects of two groups are activated, the next step is unlocked. You can get a greater variety of effects as you take your P organ to higher phases. Whoa, dude, this is crazy. Increase pulse cells. Increase groggy available window. Add fable slots. Link dodge. Enables another dodge in the middle of a dodge motion. Well, that seems fun. Huh. Ah, okay. Can't use it from the same type. Okay, so then this would bring us up to level 2. Got it. Okay, so this progress meter moves when you fully fill out these. Got it. Oh, that's cool. I wonder if that's me. Cool drawings. fire.mp4. Let's see if Antonia has anything to say now that we've rescued Geppetto.
That sounds very dangerous. Geppetto usually isn't so reckless. The pain of his grief may be clouding his judgment. Dear, I shouldn't have said that. You and Geppetto are always welcome at this hotel. Geppetto's room is on the 2nd floor. You can stop by whenever you like.
I'm going to make a guess about the story of this game. I am Geppetto's son come back to life. Okay.
That book reminds me. Have you ever heard the fairy tale about a mischievous wooden puppet? All of Krot knows the story, all because of someone who loved that story more than anyone else. But this is strange. I do not recall. Who exactly was that someone?
Yeah. Okay, and then I forget the butler's name, but let's see if he has anything new.
Welcome to Hotel.
Yeah.
The Stalkers are Krat's vigilantes. There are 2 groups of them, the Bastards and the Sweepers. The Bastards are an organization of guards for the alchemists and the workshop. Motto, honor or nothing. The Sweepers are an organization of guards for the old families of Krat. Motto, we always repay what is owed. Historically, the relationship between the 2 groups has been turbulent, but most were killed in the puppet's full-scale attack. That is what little I know beyond the hotel walls. May I serve you in some other way?
Okay. Well, I guess the last thing to find out is... what does this note say? I organize this place according to the rules of the movie. Thank you, Jenny.
I picked up traces of high-powered energy originating far away. That's one mystery solved. Why don't we make a Legion arm with it?
Yeah, let's do that.
Mr. Vanini is the expert when it comes to Legion arms, but I'm pretty sure I can make one. The puppets get fried easily by electricity. If you use an electric Legion arm, it'll make your life easier. You're going to the factory to save Mr. Vanini, right? He's the richest man in Krat. A little eccentric, maybe, but a good person. I heard he went to shut the factory down. I hope he's safe. I wouldn't want to lose my best customer.
It's all about the money with you, huh?
I know my way around a well.
A Legion arm that holds powerful electricity. It accumulates electric blitz and discharges an electric shock. Lightning has been interpreted as God's authority and fury since ancient times. Now God's fury descends to the earth and is being used to destroy steel monsters. Oh, 3 of them. Movable charge enables moving while charging electric blitz. Leakage current, continuous small sparks from the hands inflict damage while charging electric blitz. Overcharge increases the maximum level for charging. Oh, I guess these all have different levels. Maybe that's something else. Ooh. What does this button do? $174, $374. $374 with Groggy. Okay. I still think the Scorpion thing is better, but... All right, the last thing that I want to check out is can we get into the factory? Probably not. I mean, Gemini told us no, but we'll see. Just like Bloodborne, when you defeat bosses, the time of day changes. I don't hate it. It's Loctite. Okay. Understood. Well, hopefully somebody finds a way to get through that door, and we can keep exploring. But for now, it looks like that is it. Yeah, nothing else to do, I guess. Doors are locked. I haven't gone this way, but I don't think there's anything this way. Yeah, it's a dead end. Okay, well, that is it. That is Lies of P. I will say, personally, this is probably the best Souls-like I have ever played. Prior to this, my favorite one was Mortal Shell. I really like Mortal Shell. Still think it's a great game. Still very much worth playing. But I think this just has a level of polish, or like this is another level of polish that I think most indie Souls-likes don't have. Still hope there's room for, I still think there's room for improvement. I still hope that they improve, especially with the dodging mechanics and maybe some timing windows or something. But overall, I think this game has a lot of promise. I am very much looking forward to the full release. I really hope that you've enjoyed this playthrough, and that if you're going through that, you know, maybe you found some tips in here to help you. This is a guide and walkthrough channel after all, so I always try to incorporate that. But you know, I never killed that boss before, so you know, that was the first time for me. Yeah, I really like the style. I like the quest. I like that woman in the window. I think that's very nice. I like the enemy types. Like, I think, you know, Clockwork is a really cool direction for a Souls-like. I think it just provides a nice atmosphere. And of course, you know, Victorian England is just. Is this Victorian England? I have no idea. Gothic England? I'm American. What do I know? But yeah, I think this is a good setting for a Clockwork game like that. So yeah, I very much enjoyed it. I'm not editing this video, so I will give a shout out to my channel members, you know, myself. Let me pull it up. All right, thank you very much to John Aldrich, Hector J. Estrada, Joe Saunders, Daniel Cockriel, Spencer Young, The Old One, Brian Brubaker, Bagdet Money, Greg, X-Lightning84, Harv Fontanilla, and Logan Conrad Younger. His name gets cut off because it's long. Logan Conrad Younger remembered. Thank you very much. And yeah. All right. If you're looking for guides for Lies of P, go ahead and subscribe. I'm definitely going to cover this game when it comes out. But, you know, any other Souls-likes, I don't think I'm known as a Souls content creator, but I typically cover all those games. So if those games interest you, subscribe so you can get alerted when videos for those go live. If you have any question about Lies of P, or if you need help with something in the demo, feel free to leave a comment. I'll do my best to help you out. If you're looking to support the channel monetarily, you can do so by becoming a channel member by clicking the join button below this video. You can also leave a super thanks by clicking the heart icon below this video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and join my Discord. The links for those are in the description below. As always, I'm SweetJohnnyCage. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.